Only when Jack saw his mother-in-law standing right in front of him did he suddenly realize the person who had really died was his own biological mother. He collapsed to the ground on the spot, regret crashing over him like a tidal wave. A few days earlier, Jack's mother had a sudden heart attack and urgently needed surgery. So as not to worry her son, she secretly asked Alice to help hide her condition. When Jack asked whose medical record it was, Alice lied and said it was her own mother. But no one expected that Jack intern Linda, eager to become a lead surgeon as soon as possible, would deliberately encourage Jack to let her assist and even perform unauthorized actions during surgery, causing massive bleeding, and the patient died despite resuscitation. When the news came, Alice completely broke down and angrily questioned Linda, asking what right an intern had to operate on her own. At that moment, without hesitation, he shoved Alice aside and scolded her for being too emotional, publicly defending Linda. He even said righteously that the dead could not come back to life, and hoped Alice would stop pursuing the matter. Alice stared at the man she loved, her face full of disbelief. Only then did she finally understand that Jack had no idea the person who died was his own mother. She wanted to tell him the truth, but Jack cut her off forcefully, saying Linda had a bright future, and it could not be ruined by a small surgery. He did not care whether Alice forgave him or not. He dragged Linda away, planning to cover up the accident. Alice stayed silent. That night, Alice prepared to take her mother-in-law body away, but Jack appeared with Linda and handed Alice an agreement to sign. At first, Alice thought it was a settlement letter, but when she read it clearly, she froze. It was actually a body donation consent form. She immediately refused, but Jack looked firm, saying his mother contributing to medicine was an honor for the family. Seeing even her own son nod in agreement, Alice did not stop it. In the end, then turned and left the hospital. The moment Alice left, Jack signed the consent form. Then he chased after Alice, not to apologize, but to accuse her of being immature. Alice looked at the man in front of her, remembering how he once promised to never betray her, yet now would not even preserve his own mother dignity. Her heart turned to ashes, and she calmly asked for a divorce. Jack immediately dropped his mask, revealing his true face without shame. He said her mother was dead, her father was old, and she would have no one to rely on in the future other than him. She had no support. Alice found it laughable. She finally understood that Jack chose her back then, only for her mother money and her father connections. Now that his goal was achieved, he no longer bothered to pretend. Jack flew into a rage, shouting that if it was divorce, then divorce. Whoever disagreed was a coward. The next day arrived. Alice held a funeral for her mother-in-law. According to tradition, friends and family came forward to pay respects. Just then her mother-in-law and father-in-law suddenly walked up. Jack saw his mother-in-law at a glance and froze on the spot.